Professor Yana with the 1500 point cheer. Thanks for giving me a small shard of my normalcy this week. Keep up the great content. Thank you for the support, Tom. I really do appreciate it. Actually, that reminds me, I'm going to move my Twitch alerts over a little bit here since that was covered up a little bit. Sorry about that. I appreciate the very large cheer. Yeah, this hand's super reasonable. We've got a Thunderfield Seer here on 1, and it enables our Howling Plains Bluegrass, and then we can Cosmic Calling on 2 with Mobilize. Cosmic Calling is a super powerful card. It's a 3 cost with Mobilize. You look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then you put a revealed non-resource this way into your hand. Midnight Gatherer is a reasonable card. It's a little bit slow, but it's okay. Only 3 coins. We're kind of a mid-range aggressive deck, so this isn't a control. If it's a full-on control deck, I'd definitely be playing like upwards of the max number of coins, but for now, we're only playing 3. I just got a notification that someone else entered the Draft Today contest. Remember, if you haven't done so already, you should check out my blog on jeffhoagland.com for the first Draft Today weekly contest. Yeah, I'm going to play this Diamond Shard. I'm just going to pass the turn here so I can Cosmic Calling and Mobilize the Thunderfields here. Also lets me hold up a Transmog here in case they play like a Might Singer or Runir Hierophant or something like that. Wild Saver. Gross. That's probably making a bunch of Dreadlings here. That's a lot of Dreadlings. Alright, well, we'll take the one thing we can take here. That has Mobilize, so we can actually play this focus for free next turn, which is nice. They could scrounge a Pipit next turn. It's a good thing we have Transmogrifade, huh? Let's go ahead and mobilize this. It is, Tom. Actually, so he wasn't... The person that put the tool together wasn't using the magic fonts by default, but the font he had selected for the Hex decks by default wasn't particularly readable, so I swapped it over to the magic font. Just because it was accessible in the same source code as the other fonts. I need to find a good... This font's not even that easy to read, in all honesty. It was just easier to read because it's in bold than the Hex font. Another Wild's Favor. Man, we are just getting hammered here. So we're going to take 5 here, go down to 12, take 6, go down to 11. Next turn we could play Commander Prompt, I guess. It's a Siege Engine Gemini. Yep. Scale of 1 to dead. Need to draw another Decree of Banishing here, or we are pretty dead. Transmogrifade, not so good against Siege Engine Gemini. Reverts it first, so even though this is -1, it would revert it to the 11 drop, and then, yeah, we're pretty dead here. It would revert it to the 11 drop and then turn it back into a Walking Calamity, actually. Diamond's Favor seems insane. Bring to Justice seems fine. Transmogrifade seems aggressively mediocre. What are the other cuts here? Commander Prompt's probably just good for racing, honestly. Armies with the Severed Head Shear. Thank you. I'm going to cut a Consult and a Prompt. Consult's probably a little slow. Actually, I don't want to lose too much of our velocity. I'm only going to bring in 3. Yeah, I'm going to not bring the Justice in, and we'll bring in 4 favors here. See how this goes. This hand's like nothing to write home about, but it's like fine. It doesn't have a Coyote for this, which is a little awkward, but it's got 2 thresholds to start. don't know if this deck's actually good or not. Very real possibility this deck's just not good. Get to see them play a Ruby card. It's gotta be Lasgar's Vengeance, right? Hacky with the severed heads cheer, thank you. I want to kill this. I feel like I want to kill that. It doesn't feel good, but like it uses my resources this turn. Stinging ambushes in the board. Maybe. The fact that stinging ambushes misses the sharpshooter is kind of a big deal. There's no blood in it. Clearly the deck is unplayable. You're not wrong, Bob. So, this can't get resources, but this can grab a Coyote, which can enable this Howling Plain Foodgrass, which then will let us play Silver Talon Mandate next turn, which would be nice. It's Lasgar's double damage Juju. That makes sense. Looking for a Coyote. Look at that. So this Coyote also gains Mobilize here. So what we're actually going to get to do this turn is play this Howling Plains Bluegrass out for our second Sapphire, and then we'll play the Silver Talon Mandate, which will allow us to mobilize out this Cloud Runner for free. So Silver Talon Mandate makes 3 1/1s when it comes into play with Flight. And then every time one of our troops readies, Silver Talon Mandate gets a counter on it, and then when it has 6 counters, it gets -6 counters and returns to our hand. So it's just like a recurring source of 1/1 flying pressure. It's our threat slash finisher in this deck. It's also nice that Silver Talon Mandate, this card serves to insulate our Decree of Banishings from removal. Or from Diamond's favor, sorry. That's kind of terrifying. I think we're just using one of these Birdocrats as a gain 5 here. It's like do this and eat this. Consult the Talons. Yep, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 finding out what the birds have to say. Let's draw a non-slow shard here. Perfect, so we play that. That allows us to hit our champion power here, and then allows us to play out another Silver Talon Mandate. It's a heck of a Ruby card. It's a heck of a Ruby card. Ugh. And here comes the Siege Engine Gemini. And his friend, Siege Engine Gemini. They're like twinsies. Probably could and should have played around. I should have let him focus here. Could and should have played around the Lasgar's Vengeance a little bit by not activating my champion power. Okay, we'll grab that. I mean, this actually works out okay. Like, Thunderfield Seer here lets us mobilize this Cosmic Calling this turn. Well, I mean, the best deck is Blood and playing Lasgar's Vengeance, so, you know, checkmate. Lasgar's Vengeance is very good with Red Legs, you're not wrong. God, that's rude. Are we just getting, like, double Vengeance here? I feel like we're just getting double Vengeance out of the game here. I don't know, I don't really think this matters, I think we're about to die. Every time. Ah! Did you, fun fact. Lasgar's Vengeance was a bulk rare before I played it as a 4-of on stream. Fun fact. Factual information. Literal bulk rare was... I guess it wasn't technically bulk. It was like 45 platinum. People didn't think the card was playable. And I was like, let's put this in a McMombus deck because this card's insane. And then we did, and the rest is history. How early in the format was that? Just a couple of weeks in. Yeah, the draft popped, said. I almost jumped in the draft when it said 7 of 8, and then I was like, nah, I said we'd play constructed. Yeah, we put it in a Bombus deck featuring Mama Yeti and Baby Yeti. It wasn't a card that was on the radar of anyone that was producing content, that's for sure. Like, no one was, like, writing set reviews to be like, yeah, this card's playable and powerful and you should do it. Sounds like kinda medium, but, like, if this first focus finds, like, a Thunderfield Seer, the rest of it kinda pads out well. It's not just 0 mana Plague Wind, like, it's 0 mana, like, kill dome your opponent, too. Like, that last game, it just, like, did 12 damage to it because they had 3 of them. Would love for this first focus to find Thunderfield Seer or the 1/1 for 2. One of our 1-drops would be great. Cloud Runner, that's his name. Don't wear it out. Righteous Outlaw, 10 out of 10 blocking here. Yeah, probably. I'm pretty sure I'm just obligated to block here. I can't let him flip this. If this readies, it can just kill my Cloud Runner next turn, so feels bad to lose my mobilizer, but I have a lot of troops. Let's hopefully just draw another one here. Take another Cosmic Calling, I guess. I'm going to play this out for second Sapphire, and then we can cycle this Wakuna coin during my opponent's end step. Transmography is a good pickup here. Let's just get rid of this before it can diligence this and turns it into a 1-drop. A Verdant Mill is something that they could actually use here at some point. We're going to get to cast this Cosmic Calling next turn, though, which is nice. And then we're going to Cosmic Calling at their end step, which is nice. And then on our next turn, we can play this, make some Ada Spirits, and then consult the birds. Hopefully this finds one of our 1-drops here. I need to stop reading the forums. I need to stop reading things that are outside of my deck. The only reason I started is because my deck drill downs and stuff get posted on there. I was looking at them for feedback, but like, God, the people on the forums, just everybody, just our world is just like full of people that want something for nothing. It's so frustrating to interact with. This Typhoon Skyshaper could be really good, but I probably just want the removal, right? Perfect. That was a great draw. So I get to do this. And then I get to do this, and then we get to hit our champion power, and then we can consult the Talons for 1, and then play this Decree of Banishing, which is awesome. The thing that's like most abusing about the forums. The forums were definitely the source of my tweet participation trophies. There's a bunch of people on the forums that are of the opinion you should get prizes for going 1 and 2 in the draft gauntlets right now, because you get prizes for going 1 and 3 in Evo and 1 and 3 in Sealed, and it's just like, well, we already have 2 formats that, like, reward you for mediocrity. Like, you don't need every limited format to reward you for doing poorly. Like, it's okay for some of them to actually be competitive queues where, like, you don't get a prize for, like, not for sucking. Like, sucking at something is the first step to being kinda good at something. It's okay to suck at something. Doesn't make you a bad person. Just like, pro tip, it's okay to suck. Just, you know. Sage life advice from Hoagland. It's okay to suck, ladies and gentlemen. If you suck at something and you want to stop sucking at something, eventually you will stop. But, you know, that's just how it works. You might as well just make it 12 packs for 3. No, you don't. You don't need it to, like, these games are variants by design, and expecting people to win more than half of their matches to get prizes isn't unreasonable in a queue that's supposed to be competitive in nature. It's just, it's not. It's not unreasonable. So I have a couple different lines here. I could play the Silver Talon mandate and, like, make 3 blockers, and then that can do this Cosmic Calling thing for us, and then possibly actually find a Decree of Banishing that we can mobilize out. But I actually think I want to play the Typhoon Skyshaper here into Cosmic Calling. They're back. They were over 500 at one point. Alright, now whatever one he targets with this trigger here, we're going to Typhoon Skyshaper. And Typhoon Skyshaper, in addition to mobilizing, it returns one of our exhausted troops to our hand. So we have to pick this Phantom back up here and save it. Correct. If you're good, it'll balance out correct. I agree. Decree of Banishing. Rude. Sucking at a TCG is also really expensive. Everything in Hex is really cheap compared to other TCGs that exist. It's back to 665 for draft style. Although my, what's it called? My draft days are all 666 this week, I believe. That's a great way to put it, Bob. If you feel like you're getting unlucky in every one of your games, you're actually just making mistakes. I'm gonna go ahead and block here. I think this is fine. Just use this as a gain 5 at this point. War-Torn General is kind of scary because this makes all of their Ardent troops make Valors at this point. This has Mobilize, right? Yeah, so... Oh, sweet. We drew a Decree of Banishing. So, we actually get to Silver Talon Mandate, make 3 guys, and then we get to mobilize this Lanupause site, and then play the Decree of Banishing and take out the Heart of Embers. Being bad at this game hurts a lot more than in other games. It doesn't really hurt any more than other CCGs. Like other card games. And you've clearly never played Magic Online or Paper Magic if you think being bad at this game is expensive compared to those, because it's not. Alright, they're kind of running out of steam here. I mean, so, I don't think every queue needs to be competitive. I think it's completely fine that going 1 and 3 in an Evo gets you an extra pack, and going 1 and 3 or 2 and 3 into Sealed is an extra pack on here, right? That's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with having more casual limited queues. But, having one limited queue that's not appealing to casual players is fine. It's not a big deal. They just, everyone wants something for nothing, and they want more for what they have, and not everything's going to appeal to every player, and that's okay. One of the most awesome things about TCGs that makes TCGs great is they can appeal to a lot of different people for a lot of different ways and a lot of different reasons. That's one of the things that makes TCGs really neat, in my opinion. It's how much variety they have and how many different people they can appeal to. You don't have to force every game mode to appeal to every player. I mean, if anything, I wouldn't mind paying, $750 for a draft instead of $700 and getting, 3 packs for going 2-1 Like, rewarding the slightly less than 3-0 more is what I would like, more than 1-2 getting rewarded. Like... I've been running really hot in drafts lately. I'm up to almost 74% win rate since I started tracking them this season. I've got like 40, I've got like 20, a little over 20 drafts tracked in my logger. My issue with drafted hex is always the queue wait time. If you're conscious and like checking the queues on occasion, the queue doesn't take too long to fire out a lot of times a day. And they Banishing Decreed my 2 guys so they don't diligence and trigger my mandates. Hopefully we don't draw a shard next turn, because we've got 2 draws in the bank here on an action and a troop from our Lanupause site. Oh, and that's another one of those. So what am I doing here? I think I'm just hitting with 2 Birdocrats and then like using this as a gain 6 here. Yeah, I wish I would have been tracking them all season. I really wish I would have been tracking them all season. Yeah, I agree. The deck list on the side looks tight. The font still leaves something to be desired, I think. But other than that, ooh, they have a champ power here looming. We're not dead on board, but that could be... Yeah. We're taking 6-11 here. Gross. Alright, well, we do have 2 draws in the bank, and this shard guarantees us a champion power next turn, so maybe... Yeah, the draft queue's at 5 of 8 right now, and it literally fired before this match started, for reference. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, I'm just going to mobilize this out now, and probably replay this, honestly. Pick this back up. This is something someone else made. I'm using a tool that I created as a quick GUI for spitting them out quickly, but the actual image is being put out from a tool that another person made, actually for Magic and Pokemon, and I asked them and they added hex support to it. There's Sylvan Talon Mandate here. We have a Transmog to transmog this Moonrise Elder. Am I hitting the Moonrise Elder, or am I hitting the War-Torn General at this point? I feel like I want to tag the Moonrise Elder, but we'll wait until enter combat to see what we want to do with that decision. So this, whenever it becomes Valorous, it makes a copy of itself, and this, whenever you play an Ardent Troop, you get a Valor. So every Ardent Troop makes another Intrepid Conjurer, which might have been a reason to tag this with the Transmogger Fade, but I think... Oh, that's going to make a lot of Valors here. You want the deck box? There you go. There's your deck box. And we're out of extra card draws at this point, which is a little scary. We need to get enough diligence. You know, I shouldn't have bounced this to my hand, I guess. I wouldn't have returned a mandate last turn, though, so I guess it's not too big of a deal. We'll see what they do here. With that getting Transmogger Faded, this gets to eat things, so, like, if they might just crunch with this, honestly. Wouldn't be too surprised if just crunching with this happened. Wow, that's really aggressive. Okay. No, no. Jump. Do it, and then double here. Yeah, that seems fine. Take a bunch of their guys off the table. Keep my Sky Shaper. We're still pretty far off of their champion activation here. Not a shard. Come on, piece of action. That's pretty good. So let's go ahead and Cosmic Calling here. I might not even have needed to do that, honestly. I'm gonna go ahead and attack with these. Oh, wait, so these are up to 4, 3. So if I hit with both of these... Yeah, if I hit with both of these, 2 of these Silver Talon Mandates are going to come back to my hand next turn. So then we'll get 6 more blockers. Don't need to mobilize this, and then I can play this. So we've got 3 blockers here. Yeah, 3 blockers here. So we just need to not die, and then we get 6 more blockers next turn. And then more blockers the following turn. Hey, Tron. Okay, so there's still 1 activation away from that. This is when you play, so the Wild Child coming into play didn't trigger that, which is good for us. They don't actually have great attacks here. We get to like jump here, we can eat this. Yeah, so continue to defend. So I could go like this. That doesn't seem completely unreasonable. It puts us dead to a Heart of Embers, but I think that's fine. I've already played one of those, I think. Yeah. So these ready, 2 of these come back to my hand. Drew another one of those. Just attack with all these. I think I just hit with all of these, honestly. Just like get as many counters as possible onto these things. We need to pressure our opponent out of the game before they're able to draw Heart of Embers and kill us. Oh, because of 2 Valors. Yeah, good point. That makes that block excellent. So this Silver Talon Mandate will come back to our hand next turn because we'll ready with 4 troops. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blockers right now. We'll get +3 blockers next turn. Hopefully we draw whatever these Thunderfield series are prophesied onto here soon. We're also dead to Lasgar's Vengeance here, which kind of sucks, but that is what it is. Gonna trade off boards here almost completely. We'll have our 4 guys here to his 5/5. Dead to Lasgar. You know. This deck's probably not particularly playable. There's too much Lasgar in the format. It's really unfortunate. I don't even know what we want to do, really. Transmogrifade's okay in this matchup. This is probably fine. Give it a try. Stop calling the opponent shots, right? Something, shit. Yeah, the swing definitely, like... Correct. Like, that was the reason. That's why I said Lasgar's. Like, this is... Lasgar's is the reason why. There's the reason why you make an attack like that. Yep, just unable to apply enough pressure there before our opponent was able to find something to close out the game. His hand is such a tease. Ah, racial shards! Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yep. I wonder if maybe we should rebuild this deck as just a control deck with Mandate as a finisher. So we could just, like, control the board a little bit more so we just, like, the rest of our cards don't care about that as much. It makes the Coyotal Shard not playable, most likely, because we gotta ditch, like, the Cloud Runners. Probably the Thunderfield Seers, too. Although maybe this card gets better if we have more actions. I don't know that I actually like Clash in the format that much right now. Yeah, I don't like it very much, and Clash is not good with Mandate. Why do you have to eat it to redlings in that deck? Like, all right, after this match, we'll put together a control deck. Why is Clash decently positioned? I feel like I'd rather be playing Mandate than Clash. Glorious touch. I can see Glory being good. Draw all of the cards here. Look at that. Look at that arcane focus. Yes, please. Draws 2 extra cards past that. Toasty. We are not playing Magic for the foreseeable future. I don't know if that's probably not the answer you want to hear, but that's the answer, that's the truth, so that's the one I'm going to give. Look at that! Look at how mobile this consult is. Who doesn't love a free draw? When you draw a card, then you draw another card. Both of Hex's constructed formats I've been enjoying more than any of Magic's constructed formats lately, so I play games to have fun, so if I'm enjoying myself, I'd rather play the game I'm enjoying than Magic. Dude, you're getting ground down by last dreadlings or last cards. You have a piece of removal for this one, so I can't trade with the William Rowan here. Yeah, I mean, Magic standard formats have been pretty miserable for a while. Yeah, and there's the Decree of Banishing to tag this. This still gets to trade with this, unless maybe he's just not attacking with it. So, fun fact, I'm actually playing a Legacy tournament this weekend. There is a team-constructed event at the LGS that Mapamonte runs in the town where I live, and I am playing Alurin for Legacy on the team, which is exciting. Like, Legacy is amusing, even if Miracles is the best deck by a lot. I don't play it that often, which makes it kind of a novelty format. Come on! Come on! Come on! Oh, God. This is my life. Womp womp. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Why? War Party Guide. Where the War Party at? The War Party's all over the top of his deck, apparently. Let's do this. I'm gonna cycle this to start. I'm just gonna transmog this and Decree of Banishing this. I'm just gonna go double Decree here, actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna be resource efficient now and Decree both of his nerds and then crack him for 5. Yes, I mean, it's not my first time playing Alurin. Like, I played Alurin at the Players' Championship to a 2-1 finish last year, and then, did a lot of testing for that event in all formats. Alurin's just like a gas deck to play. Lasgars, kill your board. Sure. Valor that up so we can transmog it. Daughter of the... That's... Yep. Deal. Daughter was really awkward in all of the Diamond Ruby lists that we played because you just, like, didn't have... You needed double Ruby, but you also needed, like, 5 Diamond for it to work. I'm not playing this out because I don't want to get completely slaughtered by Lasgars. Hopefully he valors this. Valoring this makes sense because it lets it play through the other guard. Well, now we gotta kill both of these, I guess. We're gonna transmog this in response to the trigger because we know they have 2 Valors in hand, so we don't want them to get too hard of Ember's triggers here. We also have to answer this thing too, just like there's so many must-answer threats on the board right now. The old turn your one card that makes Valors into a different card that does stuff with Valors. Oh, what am I supposed to do here? I think I'm supposed to transmog this one. I don't think I can afford to even let him get Righteous Outlaw back with the Daughter of the Poet here. Ruby Infusion Device. Deal. That could actually nip us in the butt at some point here, but... they have another Valor in their hand, right? Yeah. So, the fact that they didn't play out the second Valor that they have in their hand probably means they have another Heart of Embers, which at this point we're basically dead to. Yep. Alright, well, last turn, I feel like we could afford to wait a turn to try and play around Lasgar's Vengeance. Now I feel like we're just far enough behind that, like, I'm just going to play this out and play out my resource and, like, hope for the best here. I'm actually not playing any Leovolds in the Allurin list that I'm playing this weekend. I tested it before the PC and I just wasn't excited with that card. It was like worse than Shardless Agent most of the time. Look at that. My read on the second Heart of Embers was correct. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. Oh, man, that was rough.